microphone checker. Chrissy be the bedroom wrecker, double decker, and I eat my max with triple secker. Anywho, hey, hey!
Hey.
This is SWD,
Mm-hmm.
Sisters
With disability.
with Disabilities, where we're uplifting
Inspiring.
and enhancing the knowledge of individuals with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Crystal, the blind baddie, and this is my sister.
Hi everyone. I'm Kim. Keep it moving.
I'm moving on, yeah, yes I am.
Oh.
Okay, it came to my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So today we are doing caregiver awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, little disclaimer. Now, caregiver awareness is actually in November, but we are filming in December, honey,
Yes.
because December had us what?
December ran.
No, November did.
November had us November.
November had us Novembering. We had birthdays, we had graduations, we had award ceremonies. So we was tired. So we finally made it. Thank God we made it.
You hear that?
Okay. So as long as we got it done, it's done. So like I said, today's caregiver awareness episode, we have a special guest,
Mm-hmm.
Kim. She's just smiling, Kim.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, so this is my second best friend that I've had on this show. Uh,
What's her name, Kim?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I had to turn to her for the effect.
That's why I turned you.
You
All
know
right.
the effect. She act like she don't know me. Joy. Her name is Joy Arnold, everyone. She's a loving person. She's my bestest friend. 1 out of 5. Well, four, five.
One of the bestest.
Yeah, she's my bestest friend. She is a worker and a hustler. Yeah, you're a hustler. Um, she hates being on camera, so if she sniffs or makes faces and all that stuff,
I can't help.
she did it for me. So, Joy.
Yes.
So let's give you a proper introduction. So right here we have Miss Joy Arnold from Touch Your Joy CDS Consumer Director Services, where she actually has her own caregiving company.
Yeah,
So she's an entrepreneur.
Yes,
Welcome,
she
Miss
does.
Joy.
Woo!
Hey, woo! She gave the friend introduction. I do business.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
I mean I know her too, but you know Kim give her all the gushy stuff.
yeah, I will.
But thank you for coming. Cause you
Yes,
know
thank you, Joy.
Thank you for inviting me.
we know you nervous, but that's all right. You here with family.
Yes.
And wine.
And
I know.
wine.
Wine and family.
Sing. Wait a minute. Let me give it. Come on.
Tinker, tinker,
Sing.
tinker. We can't do it too loud because I added her. Okay. We ain't gonna make them noises. But and we're also celebrating Kimberly's birthday.
Yay!
So we already ate cake, y'all. Y'all missed it.
It was wonderful.
It was fancy for me.
Yeah, and we have some
Good.
wine with cranberry and this is spumante. I see what is
Okay,
it?
they ain't paying us. It don't matter.
Okay, you're right.
They don't pay us. Wine in these SWD cups. Wine.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, this is caregiver awareness, and for sisters with disabilities, this is a very, very, very important show to have because not only is it the people that we're reaching out or people with disabilities, we're reaching out for the caregivers, the loved ones, the spouses, the mothers, the fathers, and caregivers are a very important component to being disabled because sometimes some people couldn't get to where they need to go or get things done without a caregiver.
Right.
I've been a caregiver. I've been in the caregiving field since I was 18. I started when I was 18.
Yes, you did.
Taking care of little old ladies to old men to mental health facilities. So I've been all the way around taking care of different types of individuals.
Right.
So I know the importance of a caregiver because, like I said, I took care of people, and sometimes it was sad because it was a lot of older people who didn't have family or friends to come and even
That's
just
right.
sit with them or
Yeah.
just a conversation. I had one lady; she didn't want me to do nothing but take her trash out and talk to her, and that was the highlight of her day, just to see me come in and take out her trash and just have a conversation with her.
Right,
So,
and that's something that I did also
uh-huh.
before to taking care of people, and we would have the private services that would go into the homes and
Hmm.
just it makes their day.
Yeah, private duty. I've taken care of people who pay me under the table.
Mhm.
I've taken care of state facilities. I've taken care of people, like I said, from old to young to mentally, the mental health challenge,
Mhm.
physically
Yeah.
challenged. I had quadruple, what is it? Not quadruple bypass. Um, Lord, I didn't forgot when they can't walk.
What is it?
What
What
is
is
it?
it called when they can walk?
What do you mean, a paraplegic or something?
Paraplegic.
Paraplegic.
Thank you, baby. That word was not wording with me today. I
Or
didn't have
someone that's paralyzed? Or...
yeah,
Uh-huh.
paralyzed, paraplegics. So that's why it's very important for
Mhm.
us to have Joy on here because we've known her for a long time, and I've like I said, this Kim's best friend, and I've been around since she even started the company when she was
Mhm.
going through the
Yes.
process. So let's talk about it. So tell us
Yes.
some
Tell
things about you,
us.
Miss Joy.
Well, like you said, I have my own home health care CDS business. I also do private pay. I do veteran assistance. Um, I'm trying to expand out and explore other options. So that's in the making. Um, but as far as that, I started it about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um, it was hard at first, and I was still working clients myself to try to keep things going. So I was going in and taking care of people on other people's shifts because they wasn't showing up, and
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
on top of the people that I was already taking care of. So yeah, it was
We had a mini night.
yeah.
So how did you start? When did you start being a caregiver?
Mhm.
Well, I started young. I used to take care of my grandmother and then
Mm-hmm.
my uncle, and then I got introduced to a family of doctors and also Holocaust survivors, and
Wow.
I took
Oh,
care of
okay.
those people for 10 years or so. And um, one of my clients actually inspired me to start my own thing because
Mm-hmm.
he was basically saying, you do this so much, you
You
might
might
as
as well.
well.
Mhm.
I'm coming in, and this was we was getting, our own little thing going on. So, the little private pay, and
Mhm.
he was like, you might as well just get
Take you
stuff.
to do. Take you on.
Right, you might as
Yeah.
well because you coming in for other people and you're not even on a
Yeah.
contract per se. So you coming in, you working for other people, you might as well
Work for yourself.
work
Mhm.
for yourself.
That's
So
I was like,
that's
you
a
know
word right
what?
there.
Right.
yeah,
Oh.
so I ventured off and I started the process of the paperwork and submitting documents and paying for all the fees and all of that stuff, and that became tedious because they like to deny you, you know,
How long
Mm-hmm.
did that actually take you to get everything?
uh,
So you really get
almost two
started.
years because
Wow.
the paperwork itself is a lot. It's almost like writing a dissertation in a way.
But you didn't
Mm.
give up.
You didn't.
Yeah, and so they
Mhm.
denied me the first time, and it made me mad. And I was like, "What?" So I'm like, "I read it. I know exactly what it said,
Right.
but it's always those key words that
Mhm.
you look past that you like, no, that's not exactly what they meant." So I had to sit down and really focus. And with the help of my assistant, also my business partner, and she is my friend. Also, her name is Kelly
Yes,
O'Neill.
Kelly.
Okay, Miss Kelly.
Hi,
Yes, she is like my savior, and I love her. And she actually kept me pushing through the
Kelly.
process. So without her, I don't think I would have made it this far.
Right. So Black Girls Rule. We're on
Right,
Girls
Okay.
right,
Rule
Thank you,
with you
Miss
now.
Kelly.
right. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay.
And so yeah,
Because when I
so
worked for you, baby, she made sure we got them checks on time.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
thank
I
you,
don't
Miss
play
Kelly.
about people money, So because I've been in them situations,
Oh
Yeah.
where
yeah.
I'm working and I don't get paid. And then
Uh-huh.
and like you get paid a whole lot sometimes, especially when you working for facilities and stuff like that. They
Especially
don't
like
pay
10
you.
years ago, baby.
Yeah, you don't get paid nothing. So if you go,
Now tell me this. Okay, I'm your friend, and I watch everything you do. This is my baby boss. She's an Aries.
yeah,
It's like with everything that you do, how do you? How can I say this? When everybody tries to make it a big deal that you have this business, do you take more losses than anything before you get to watch your company grow to
oh yeah,
anything?
yeah. When it first start off, you don't make a profit really. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first year or so, sometimes more because when it comes to home health care, people die. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
people don't work.
Mm-hmm.
People switch around and stuff like that. So you got to take into that consideration that you can have a certain amount of income one month and then the next month you don't have that. So
Right.
you still
Mm.
have to make payroll and Uncle Sam don't care. You still got to pay them taxes.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
you got to make sure that you put money aside,
Right.
and save it because if you just start spending the money that come in, you ain't gonna make it. So
Right.
you
Right.
still have to. I still worked when I first started off.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you
I
did.
still
Okay.
worked with
Yes,
my
you did.
clients, and then I still did other things on the side,
You held the job.
Mm-hmm.
just
She's a
because
hustler, baby.
I wanted to make sure it stayed afloat. And then especially when the pandemic came, it became really hectic. You
Yeah.
know, lost family, lost
Mhm.
relatives,
Yeah.
lost
Mhm.
clients, lost workers, stuff
And
like
you
that.
still got kids to take care of.
Right. And
Yeah.
so, on top of that, so it's like, hey, you gotta be more
Business minded.
business minded and be conscious of how you organize your
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
finances and especially with your paperwork because it get crazy. Because
Right.
with COVID, you can't go to people's house.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, you can't do certain things, so it became more difficult.
And state
Especially,
changes the
Mhm.
rules.
yes, they do,
Like area of the
and
35
they pay you when they
seconds.
want to pay you.
Right.
You
And
Mm-hmm.
know,
I've noticed that also she's always going through something or reading about something because her always changing.
Oh
yep.
yeah, state does that, especially I don't know why they do that for mental facilities. Like
Mm-hmm.
they close down the whole state facility or close down half of it. And that might be helpful for companies like you because it help you gain more clients, but then they have all these technicalities in order for you to get those type of clients as well.
But that's a gift and a curse in a way
Mm-hmm.
because if you get a big flush of clients, then you got to make sure you got people that's gonna work,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's another hard thing because people say they're gonna work, but when it comes down to for real doing it, and when it comes to home health care, sometimes the job can be very difficult, and
Mhm.
you can
Right.
be with somebody that's combative or
Yes.
someone that you have to put a whole lot of energy into physically.
Dementia or
Hmm.
behavior
Mhm.
health.
Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be prepared, and some people not all the way prepared for that, and they
Right.
think it's
Yeah.
gonna be easy, and sometimes it's not easy.
Especially
Yeah.
when they're working with family. Because
Hmm.
when we speak of, so what I've ended up learning, the CDS, Consumer Directive Services,
Mhm.
are
Hmm.
only in, when I was trying to do it in Georgia, it's only in 12 states.
Hmm.
So
Wow, I didn't
consumer
know
direct,
that.
yeah.
I
So
didn't
Hmm.
know that.
consumer directed services is when you are able to get paid to take care of your family
Right.
members,
Yes.
Right.
and you would think that'd be easy, but
But
people try to treat the system.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so when I researched it, there were only in 11 to 12 different states.
Hmm.
That's why Missouri is real popular with because it's a home health service for your family like almost every corner now.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
I'm
So
That's
with
another
that.
thing. So, but what I noticed with that, a lot of people come and go.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Because they come in and then they look at that money, like I said, when you get a check, and that's not your check for real.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got to make sure you pay people.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't. For instance, I put into like retirement,
Mm-hmm.
or a 401 or anything like that. So I take the little extra if I get some extra, I'll put it into that versus me keeping it because in the long run, it's gonna help my
Help you
business
out.
grow.
Right.
You know, because people gonna look at it like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be working here for no 10, 15 years, and then when I'm, ready to retire, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
no money put up. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
can't get no Social Security because she didn't pay into Social Security.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I pay into the Social Security and all of the, stuff that sometimes Kelly say I shouldn't do, but I do it because I was in those shoes and I know what it feel like to
Right.
No, I
sit
think
back
that's
and
very smart to do.
yeah.
If you had, well, your accountants and everything, they should always tell you to put money into yourself and invest into you always have to invest back into your company.
Mhm.
Like when I tell people I got a podcast, they automatically think, oh,
Mm-mm.
you making money because
Mhm.
people in the podcast world who's been doing this for 5 or 6 years is making money.
Right.
But if people
But
only
people
knew,
from the beginning,
people
Mhm.
only knew,
get it
like
from the dirt,
this
from the
tablecloth count,
mud.
this costs, like these cups cost. So everything.
Insurance.
Okay, everything costs in order to. But I know in the long run, if we keep working harder, then
Mhm.
it'll pay off in the end
Yep.
Yeah.
for us.
Yep.
But let's talk about more of the caregiving side of things. Like how important is it for people with disabilities to have a caregiver?
Mhm.
Um. First off, safety, because a lot of people, when they have disabilities, some people don't really realize that they are not capable of doing things that they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they still
Yes.
attempt to try to do things that they would normally do and they can't do it. And, pride a lot of times coming away.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
don't want to acknowledge the fact that they need help. And
Mm-hmm.
so even if, sometimes you have someone, even if they say they don't need the help, but if you in a situation and they trying to do something, just to hold of something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or just to
Little
or
guidance.
just say, hey, you forgot to turn off that stove.
Excuse me. Let's put me in this. Let's talk about me right now.
Okay.
Um, we've had a lot of situations where I could just be walking across the street or doing the smallest little things, and her caregiver mind is going to jump to my aid, and we end up having a fight because I'm like, no, get off with me, let me do it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be okay, and she's like, no, and it's
Until that wind knock her
Right,
ass over,
right.
then
Until
she
she
be
start
like,
tripping.
"Oh!" Then she
Mhm.
screaming,
that's
Mhm.
different.
needing help. It ain't
That's
different.
that's different. I need
Get
you
the help
then.
when you got it before
I need
before
you
you
then.
don't.
Or steps. I don't like you walking steps, but she feel like she can do it her own.
Okay,
Hmm.
we're done talking about me
Yep.
now.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you
Yeah.
had that
Yeah.
finger up. You had the church
Yeah.
finger up.
I
Mhm.
Back
did,
to
Mhm.
you.
I did.
We
But
not gonna
no,
do them.
about the ego, I had a lady who was a teacher, had her own daycare, master's degree, but health failed her. She actually had to get her stomach cut open, so her stomach was open for a while. But in her mind, she feel like I'm still an educated, smart woman who's independent, who can take care of herself. So she was very reluctant for me to help her for a long time.
Mhm.
But I just sit and talk to her and then slowly start cleaning up the kitchen,
Mhm.
talking to her, and then when she finally realized it, she was like, "Oh, I really do need your help." I still talk to her. It's been over 8 years. That's my
Yep.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, they have egos, and like
Mhm.
we were saying, people who have family members, they think it's easy. Oh, I can just help my family until
Mhm.
you really see the medical side of it. They just see, oh, I need to take out your trash or
Mhm.
I need to clean your kitchen, but they need help with the medication. And how
Mm-hmm.
you gonna help and you don't know how to pronounce nothing?
Yep.
Okay.
Right,
So
you're right.
it's good, and also what I notice is some downs with that, because when you are helping someone, say for instance it's your cousin and you grew up together, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
to all of a sudden your cousin needs your help, some people come to the situation where it's like it's still the same old type of energy and stuff that I used to do,
Mm-hmm.
No.
and it's not like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
So some people have it hard to distinguish the difference when it comes to, okay, we're not just cousins right now. I'm helping you. This
Right.
is for real. This
Mm-hmm.
is your life. This is important. We can't do the same things we used to do because you are physically not able.
Right.
Right.
So
Or the other way around. It's like
yeah.
I need your help right now for real. Like I
Mhm.
understand you my cousin, you want to kick it, but I really need for you to
Mhm.
wipe my butt.
Right.
I
Can
really
you hand
mean
me
Yeah,
this?
this.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, it's good and bad when it comes to everything. So you just gotta, stay focused and really understand exactly what you're doing when it comes into home health care or just taking care of a loved one.
Yeah.
So what are the sentimental benefits for you?
For me,
Like, because I know
Yes.
you're not just doing it just to,
She falls
you
in
have
love.
to hold on, Kim, let her answer her
I can't
question,
help
man.
it. I can't help it. I
Because
see what she
I
does.
understand. Because like I said, I've been doing it for almost 20 years. The money not that great, and sometimes the attitude's not that great. So what keeps driving you to do it?
well, me personally, I have stopped really taking care of people so much because of the things I've been through. And I know that, I tend to come into situations where I don't want to let go. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't want you to die. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, but you have to come to grips with, death is a part of the situation. Or if someone becomes, mentally not that same person,
Hmm.
it's hard to let that go. And especially when you've been through, I guess, trauma after trauma,
Mm-hmm.
you have to step back for a second and gather yourself, so you can come back into a situation where you will give your all because there's no point of you going out there helping somebody if you're not whole
Right.
Hmm.
because you're not giving them the care that they give because you're not whole within yourself. So, that's the most important thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of like step back a little bit
Yeah.
from, helping people as much as I used to because, they died. And,
Yeah.
like the families I was taking care of, everybody just started dying,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
was like, no, no,
Yeah.
I don't want you to go, but it's going to happen,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. And
know?
you had some people and some different characters and different
Yeah.
races and different they
Yes,
were nice.
And I
yes.
understand because our auntie, she just passed in October. She was 104.
Hmm.
Good
And
blessing.
even with me being blind, I still will go over there and have slumber parties with her.
Aw.
Give my cousins a break, because they 60, 70 years old, still taking care of their mother. So,
Mm-hmm.
I go spend the night with her, and she passed on Halloween.
Hmm.
Aw.
And that not only is she my auntie, she was giving me wisdom, and I was taking care of her.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, they when they pass, it hurts because I had just talked to her that Saturday, and I said we're gonna have a slumber party next weekend, and she said show enough. And and then by that Tuesday she was gone. I said, girl, you left me, girl. You couldn't even wait for our slumber party.
Right, right.
So yeah, I understand. I had clients pass on me as well.
Yeah.
So
So, is there any
wait a minute
wisdom?
before you go to your question. Kelsey, I need him to check and see if my chicken outside.
Oh, okay. Well,
Is it
all
like?
right. Look at there.
They ain't even say nothing. My spirit said.
She's like, there's some chicken here.
Okay, you ready for your question?
Hmm.
And clap you in.
Okay. What I'm wondering is, I just lost it that fast. Like
Mm.
as far as the, thank you, because it didn't have nothing to do with this.
Mm-mm.
But I want to ask you, girl.
You forgot.
I
You
wanted
ready?
to wait a minute. I wanted to ask you, were there special? Oh, from what you asked, what was the special? What were was there
Let me
anything
clap it back
special?
in
Wait a minute.
when you ready.
Okay. Okay. I have a question. As far as you, when you worked and had clients, were there anything special that they would say to you that you could remember? Oh,
Yes, a lot. It's so much.
oh.
It's so much. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to that because when it comes to taking care of people that have lived a life,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
especially different from your own and been through so many different things, they give you so many different outlooks and ideas and opinions and
Mm-hmm.
different ways of looking at things that you
Look
would
at
normally do.
everything, everything.
Right. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it was or
So they
what,
just
you know.
loved you, loved
It just
on you,
it just
let you know.
so much, so much. Um
Did you
one
say you had
client,
Holocaust?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were very, very interesting. Mr. and Mrs. Gersten. I love them to death. But Mr. Gersten, both of them uh ran away kind of from the concentration camps, and they slept up under bridges, you know,
Mm.
and next to swamps and stuff like that just to get away. And they both was like teenagers, like really young, 14, 13 years old.
Wow.
Mm.
And they was found by a group of people, and they was taken to like a hospital, and they both was like really, really sick to the point where they was, you know,
Out
almost
of it.
dead.
Mm.
And so they kind of vowed to each other, because both of them lost their whole family, that they
Wow.
would never separate, and they never did, and they was
Wow.
together for almost 80 years.
And there was a
Wow.
couple.
A couple, yep,
Okay.
yep. So they was together for a long, long time, and to see something like that was so inspiring, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't see people first off live that long or
Right.
be together with one person for that long.
Right.
Yeah.
And
80
the
years.
stories that they, you know, said, and they did, and the trials and stuff that they went through was really challenging. And then for them to come up the way they did, and to be able to sustain, and to come to a whole nother country without
Mm-hmm.
Right.
learning it.
Right.
They was, you know, they was basically just put on a boat, you know,
Mm.
and they was sent. They had this, I guess, like a program over there where they was taking survivors and shipping them to different parts of the states and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So they was sent her, and they actually stayed not too far from her, in like a full family unit where it was other survivors
Survivors.
and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that was there. And
They
they
just had to
started.
figure it out, huh?
Yep, they couldn't speak English.
Right.
Mm.
You
So they
know,
were ride or die for real, huh?
yeah, they just, you know, especially Mr. Gersten, he was a hustler, and he ain't take no for an answer. He was like, I'm
Okay.
gonna make it happen. I don't have no choice. You
Once you go
know,
through some tragedy like that, yeah.
yeah. So he made it happen, and he made a very wonderful life for his family. Wonderful
Mm-hmm.
to come from absolutely nothing, no family, no support, no background or nothing, to make a name for yourself, and to also have the residual income, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
most families don't really have, and to set his children up the way that he did was brilliant to me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just to see him and how he reacted and the things he did, and how he was smart, you know,
Okay.
and he paid attention, and that was a big inspiration, you know, when I saw him and listened to his story, and to see those numbers on his arm, you know,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the
yeah,
concentration camp
yeah,
numbers
he
and
had the numbers
everything.
on his arms and everything, and it hurt me to death, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
when he left. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because there's not many survivors left,
Right.
and you know, he was
Mm-mm.
one of the
Not at
few
all.
that still had the markings on his
Mm-hmm.
arm. So that was,
Well,
uh,
Wow.
yeah, he
uh,
Wow.
survived.
yeah, he survived.
So with you said you learned some business things from him. So with you having a touch of joy, what are your future plans with a touch of joy?
To expand, try to open up different, you know, parts of it, you know, as far as in-home health, more physical, you know, help with people, because you know now it's just mostly just family, you know, home care aid and stuff like that. But I want to go into womb care and things like
Mm.
that, because that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like I said, don't, you know, want to accept the fact that they need help, and some people hide it, that they have
Right.
things going on with their
Until it
body,
gets
until it
Yeah.
horrible.
gets to the
Yeah.
point where they in the hospital. And so expand into that, I think, will help tremendously, not just with people learning or observing, you know, just the human body, but you know, for other people that need the help.
Okay.
So yeah, that, and you know, probably a little bit of physical therapy, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Maybe I was thinking about doing like, you know, a little uh day center thing, but you
Okay.
know,
No,
yeah,
Put it
Okay,
out there.
nice.
Put it
Okay,
out
over
there.
there.
Just thinking about it, I don't know yet. A lot comes along with that.
I just saw. I was watching a podcast with Jazzy Faye, the producer,
Mhm.
and he said if you can visualize it, that means it can happen.
Mhm.
So if you can see it out there for you, it can happen.
Yeah, yeah. It's just when you have a big idea, and like they say, it take a village to raise a child, and sometimes you don't have a good village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So to find those good villagers,
Villagers.
it becomes difficult. So I can have all the ideas that I want to, but I'm only one person, and I can't I
Put it
can't pick up
all.
people, and I
Yeah.
can't make people do. I can't go over
Mhm.
everybody's house, to make sure that they getting up and doing everything. So the importance is trying to find good people who care really
Yeah.
about doing home health care or helping people. That becomes challenging sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
the key word in caregiving is care.
Mhm.
You have to care first
Mhm.
in order to give the care.
Yep.
So we're gonna kind of end it right here. We really appreciate you coming in, and you did a fabulous job.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
You really did awesome. Very informative, and some things I didn't even know, and I've been in the field for a long time. So thank you, Joy, for coming
Thank you,
and
Joy.
gracing SWD. And anything, Kim, you want to say?
I love you. You are my
And then you too,
friend.
Kimberly.
Okay, and just what?
Nothing.
We humming too
Girl.
much.
It doesn't matter. She hates it when we do this.
Every time. Every time. But I think this was a good show.
I think so too.
And for everybody, for the caregivers, leave your comments if you're a caregiver or you receive care, and just let us know, the things that you go through, and how it can get better and how people can do better. And if y'all want to reach out to A Touch of Joy, she is in St. Louis, Missouri. Google
Google.
A
Yes.
Touch of Joy.
You can also call.
Yeah,
Okay, give
look
it
her
a
up.
number.
You can call my secretary. Her name is Corman. And you
Okay.
can reach us at 314-201-1938.
Okay.
Yes.
Reach out and touch a touch of joy
Okay.
and make it a better world if you can.
If you can.
So anyway, y'all can like, share, subscribe, share, 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 subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And you can find us on all our platforms. YouTube, Sis with This, SIS.
D-I-S. Wait a minute. S-I-W-S-I-S-W-I-C-D-I-S.
As she said again, Sis with This, SISWITDIS. That's also our Gmail as well. You can find us on what else you can find us on? Baby, this little cranberry juice right here.
Juicing.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. So again, y'all, if y'all know any caregivers, y'all the caregivers, let us know. Tell us some stories. We'll love to hear it and we'll comment. So y'all stay easy. Bye.
Bye. You know you're taking care of me, though, right?
I told you that when I first met you. Remember that?
Okay.
Oh, Lord.